Hello, good afternoon, Kay. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, very good.
Are you keeping cool?
I'm sat in my at my desk actually.
Oh, so am I, but I've got a fan on and I forgot to put my shorts on. I'm absolutely boiling.
You're boiling.
I fall to pieces when it starts sun shining. I'm ridiculous. Now, congratulations on the brilliant. I love it in the club. I was watching it all day yesterday, along with my daughter, and absolutely, it's just brilliant. It really does get better. Now, when you began writing the second series, Kay, did you know the character's ending, or do you just write and see how the characters take form?
Well, we do a story conference, and we have to make sure that we've got, a broad outline of each character.
Yeah.
Enough story for them. So we do that first, and then once we've got that story, then we kind of break it down over 6 hours, and then see how that falls into each episode, and then set about writing it. Then it comes down to me as the writer to fill it, and then sometimes it takes a strange shape itself, it goes on its own little journey. Once you're writing it, it has its own life, which is, surprising and exciting as well. Sometimes you come up with these ideas and you think, oh, that'd be great, but why don't we just let them do that?
I bet it's so tempting to take it off in so many different directions you can go with this.
Yeah, that's right.
What sort of input? I mean, I was watching, I think it was the second episode yesterday. Am I right in thinking that your daughter helped you out with the second episode? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gaina's she's very creative in her own right. Mm-hmm. She's, she can get as close to me as anybody can. She can get my tone. And, so she wrote, I think she only went through about 3 drafts. And we go through a script editor, so it's not like I'm giving my daughter notes.
Right.
I give the script editor notes, and then the script editor gives the notes to Gaina, and then Gaina decides whether or not she'll take on board the notes or not, but she always does. I think she turned in a really cracking episode.
Oh, I think it was brilliant. It was really good. And I interviewed your daughter Gaina, going back in 2008. She was in Calendar Girls.
Yeah.
And what came across to me, she's like me, a proper Yorkshire lass. I'm from Haworth. Well, actually, I'm from Keighley, but I say Haworth because it sounds a bit posher. But, she said to me something that stuck, and it reminds me a bit of yourself. She said, when she decided to become an actress, she had never had any intention at all of moving down to London. She was always going to stay northern. Now, is that true for you as well? Have you ever been tempted to go down to the big smog?
No.
No, I didn't think you had. No, me neither.
I do go down there because I have to do for various things, but I'm always so happy when I'm coming back. It's I don't know what it is. I do know what it is because I think Yorkshire and the north is glorious.
Yes.
And, do you know what? I've just been down in London for a week doing workshops, and I got back on Friday, and I couldn't sleep on Friday because I was wheezing. Never suffered from asthma in my life. My lungs were wheezing. And in the morning, I was going to have a sleep in, and I said to Anthony, I've got to get up and get out in the fresh air with the dog. And I just got up and staggered out because I was absolutely shattered. And just like half an hour in the Yorkshire fresh air, and I felt so much better.
Because, funnily enough, talking about London, I recently interviewed the actor George Costigan. Oh, and he had a real rant. I mean, he believes that there's a real snobbery divide between the North and London when it comes to theatre and actors. And he was ranting about, the fact that, like, the RSC are screening live performances from London directly to Northern cinemas. Yeah. And was quite enraged. And he's saying, why don't the Londoners want to watch Northern productions, done in Manchester and Leeds or whatever, because we've got a wealth of, talented actors up north. Do you go along with that?
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah. There is a complete snobbery that goes on about northern actors, and any northern actors. This is what they say. Any northern actor, that's worth their salt would live in London. Why? Mm-hmm. Why? Because there's as much theatre going on up here and television. That's why. Whenever I don't go down to London casting, I go no, they can come here. If anybody lives in London and they want to be seen for this part, they have to come up.
Good for you.
I make a complete stand in the way that all the northern actors have to go down south for auditions. I think we're the only genuine drama producing company in Leeds, so we make our stance like that.
That's the way to do it, certainly is. I mean, it's been, when it comes to writing, unfortunately, this year's been quite a tragic year. We've lost, Victoria Wood
terrible.
and Carla Lane. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you must be upset.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I mean, when I started writing, there was hardly anybody. I think Linda LaPlante was just breaking. But, Carla Lane had bread on. Going like, oh, you can do it. A woman can do it. Albeit a comedy, the fact that she was the only person I knew that the only woman that I knew that was writing was Carla Lane, television. So she was a complete inspiration for me. And of course, Victoria Wood,
I know.
It's so sad. What a genius was. What a loss to our industry and to life in general.
Yeah, you're right.
She's made me laugh. She's made me cry. She's, what a wonderful woman and talent, and he just kind of goes irreplaceable. I was in a car and it pinged through and it said Victoria, and I thought somebody's having a sick joke. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Turn the news on. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't take it in.
No, I was mortified. I always remember the Woman's Weekly, from what I've grown up with Victoria Wood, and an absolute genius. And
me too. Well, I mean, I think she's my peer group, actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she will have been, won't she? Bless her. And going on now with Sally Wainwright, who I know you're friends with, but she described you as her mentor. And what I liked about what she said about you, Kay, was she said, Kay taught me to stand up for myself and not take shit from people.
Yeah, she's right.
Is that what you're about, really? Is that what made you so successful?
Well, she came round to my house and she was mortified because something that had gone on with a show that she had on, and she, somebody dressed the character wrong, and I went to her, say what you think. It's your baby. Created it, Sally. Stand up for yourself. Don't let people walk over you. Don't let people ban you off set. Somebody banned her from.
Wow.
Honest to God, she's had terrible things. She won't tell you that because she's a gracious woman, but she's had the most. Before she got strong, she had a terrible time, and I tried to encourage her to stand up for herself, and I thank God I did, because look at the body of work we've got now.
Phenomenal, absolutely amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, always knew she was. I thought she just has to get that bit stronger.
It's confidence a lot of the time, isn't it? It goes a long way.
Somebody's saying to you, somebody's telling you that you're good. So you're really bloody good, Sally, and it's your baby, it's not theirs. It's you. You had the vision, you had the idea, and don't let anybody take it away. You're
a proper Yorkshire lass, you. Proper Yorkshire lass. Do you get that fighting spirit you've got from your parents? Is it from your mum?
I think my mum was quite strong. My mum divorced my dad when I was about 3 because he was violent towards her. You don't be violent towards my mum. It was like that's the end of.
Yeah.
And this was in a time when nobody got divorced. Everybody I knew had a mum and dad, not from me.
Yeah.
But my mum, that was it. That was the end of it. And she went out to work, and she brought me up and my brother up single-handedly. Her and Auntie Edna.
Wow. Oh.
And she was amazingly strong, and didn't take any shit. And she brought me up to be like that. Both me and my brother, ready to be strong. And I never have that I know of.
I mean, when I interviewed your daughter, I asked her 5 words. I'm gonna ask you the same question as well, but 5 words which described your daughter's childhood, and she came up with happy, warm, blessed, mischievous, and loved. That's exactly what she said. What would be your 5 words, Kay?
Oh gosh. Actually, to know that.
How was your childhood? Was it happy and blessed?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much. We were poor.
Yeah.
We had no money. We were loved. Mum placed a great importance on education. She was quite political as well, quite a socialist. It's hard to sum it up, and strong.
Strong, yeah, that's the impression I get. Speaking to you, but I mean, you were a young parent, a little bit like Rosie, and how does your own parenting experience compare to that of you being a grandparent today?
Well, being a parent, you've got all the responsibility, haven't you?
Yeah.
Total responsibility. And being a grandparent, you have virtually no responsibility. You know, so you can play with them, you can spoil them. I'm in a really fortunate position because I'm comfortable. Whereas when I had my children, we were skint.
Yeah.
We had no money. We were always worried about where the next penny would be coming from. You know, my husband was a motor mechanic. I did nothing, worked part-time, you know, the selling clothes on party plan with my friends.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah, that's what we did. Hoiked around, flogging clothes, stuff like that, run a play school. But never had any money, really. Just would maybe have enough to get by, but you never had any savings or anything like that. So now I'm in a position where I can buy my grandchildren and my daughters anything I want.
Yeah.
Which is a lovely position to be in, I have to say.
Do you tell stories to your grandchildren, Kay?
Yeah, of course. I tell them things. Yeah.
My daughter, I don't know, you know.
Oh yeah, God, I used to tell them stories. Yeah. Be forever making up stories. I did with my daughters as well. With my daughters and my grandchildren, never needed to read a book. Although we did read books because I thought it was important to teach them how to read. You know, and also that actually, you know, imagination also comes from books. I used to tell them stories all the time, make up daft stories. Yeah.
I think it's really important. I mean, my children, what we'll do, you know, we'll be sat in a car, a traffic jam, or we'll be at Asda getting a weekly shop. And I like to make up names for people who might walk past and look in their basket and see what they're buying and what they're going to be doing that evening. Yeah. And that's how we do our storytelling, you know, by observing, really, and then creating something from there.
Teach them how to do that.
That's the way I like to go. It makes life a lot easier for me. It's better than I Spy anyway, that's for sure. Now, I know you love the North. Where's your favourite place to go? Where do you like to go spend the day?
Spend the day? Well, I actually quite like it around, I like Haworth.
Oh, yeah.
Haworth, all around that area. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
It is, yeah.
Because it's interesting, because you can be walking, you can walk out on the moorlands and all of that, and then at the same time you can go to, you know, the tea rooms and go and see, you know, the parsonage and everything. So it's quite interesting and lovely. It's steeped in history.
Yes.
So I love that, you know, all that, you know, the Bronte lands.
It's great.
I also love Whitby. There's a lot of places I like, actually, in Yorkshire. I don't think you have to go far.
No, you certainly don't. And that's, I mean, I lived in London for years and missed it so much. The fact I can look out my window and there's countryside, I think is a huge benefit. I really do. You can't put a price on that.
No.
You can leave London for me. Now, have you ever, because I mean, obviously I write every day, how do you go about disciplining yourself? Do you have a set sort of routine that you undergo when you're writing?
I generally write on a morning.
Right.
And then, no, I generally walk first. I have a sort of routine. I walk.
Yeah.
I've got a little dog. I walk the dog. Me and my husband walk the dog. We come back. I have my breakfast, and then I start writing around about 10 o'clock. I'll write solidly until 1. And then I'll break for lunch at 1, and then I'll go back and look over what I've written. Maybe write a little bit more, maybe not. Then I'll start taking calls, any calls that have come in, or doing emails, and that. So my PA will step upstairs, and we go through all the business of the day. And then sometimes, early evening, I might go back and do another hour, or an hour and a half too. I generally do about 6 hours, 3, maybe 5 or 6 hours a day.
How important is work to you? I mean, does it define you, or is there a line between home and work? Or
that's what I do.
Yeah, that's it. They go hand in hand, don't they?
What I do. So sometimes I'm drawn back to it, and I shouldn't. I have to discipline myself. I have to go, don't go back to it. Get up and walk, going out in the fresh air,
go eat.
Pet the dog out. My dog's a great distraction now. This little puppy is only 6 months old.
Oh.
But he's been a distraction, and that's a good thing for me. It's very, very difficult if you love your job.
Right, just to finish off, I believe you were writing a script on the menopause. How's that getting on?
Oh, really well.
Oh.
Really, really well.
Well, it's been lovely to speak to you, and have a lovely day, won't you?